What else we have to cover? Any other news? Oh, the Quinnen Williams deal. Did you guys go full victory lap for Brad and how he hit the numbers on that?
No, it came in after our podcast with Brad. So, yeah, on NFL Network, Brad got his victory lap. But Brad, when was that prediction? But like weeks and weeks
Months
ago.
March,
Months
April.
ago, yeah.
I mean, it was a while back.
Start of the off season. Brad essentially nailed the Quinnen Williams contract details to almost exactly, like down to decimals. To what that deal was going to look like. The deal that everybody expected to happen in terms of, a big extension for Quinnen Williams. He was the next guy on that interior defensive lineman to kind of tick off and get that deal done. Good move, I think, for both sides. Like Quinnen Williams showed last season, he'd reached that level of being able to take over individual games the way all of those guys have. Jeffrey Simmons did that literally game one back in the NFL. Dexter Lawrence did it in the playoffs last season. Chris Jones has done it. Aaron Donald has done it. All these dominant interior guys have got at least one game where they've shown that they can just absolutely wreck shop and change the outcome. Williams did that last season, and the Jets have designs now on making some noise this year.
Yeah, I tweeted out because I'm just so interested in that 2019 interior defensive line draft class. Remember, it was Quinnen Williams who was first off the board at 3 overall to the Jets. Ed Oliver goes, I think, 7 or 8 to the Bills. You had Christian Wilkins in a bit of a surprise going to the Dolphins. I believe it was 13th. Then Dexter Lawrence to the Giants was next off the board. And then Jeffrey Simmons goes in the 20s because he was coming off of a knee injury. Those top 5 guys, I think it's only Wilkins, right, that has not gotten the long-term deal yet. We talked about Ed Oliver's deal a little bit earlier this offseason, but I tweeted out the grades from that group, and career grades. Dexter Lawrence is number 1, pushing 90. Then it's Quinnen Williams number 2, Jeffrey Simmons number 3, Christian Wilkins number 4, and they're pretty good ways above Ed Oliver, who's 5th. But even just over the last 2 years, we see Quinnen Williams last year in particular have a really good grade. Ed Oliver has come back closer to the group. It's just a fascinating 5 defensive linemen, 4 of which have been excellent. Ed Oliver has been better over the last couple of years, but it's like the last good group of defensive tackles that we've seen come into the NFL in quite a while. And so they're all getting paid. And it's fun. I like to compare them, but they all do different things, right? Like Dexter Lawrence has been a true nose tackle. Christian Wilkins has moved around a little bit more. Jeffrey Simmons has been more of a nose tackle. Some guys play more against the run. Some guys rush the passer more. But yeah, Quinnen Williams in particular, I expected him to be the best for how much he dominated at Bama, and I think we're starting to see what his potential really is. Like you mentioned, the ability to take over games as a pass blocker, as a run defender, as a pass rusher, and as a run defender. Just an interesting group of guys, and Williams was outstanding last year for the Jets.
We also speculated about this at the time. His career at Alabama was unusual or sort of noteworthy in that it took him a while, and then once he finally sort of settled and was established, then he had one of the best seasons we'd ever seen at the college level. It's kind of been the way that his NFL career has progressed as well, right? It's been like a slow burn, but once the flame is caught, he's just gone. He's on fire and he's dominating. Like if that's the way it's going to continue, then Quinnen Williams has arrived, much the way we're talking about Trevor Lawrence, et cetera. Like that, if that's the player he's going to be, then it was worth the sort of slow start relative to a couple of these other guys, but now he's absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, career high pass rush grade of 84.1 last year. He's always been a really good run defender, other than a little bit of a blip in 2021 for the Jets. So the last good class of defensive tackles, Sam, Quinnen Williams getting paid, and we'll see what happens with Christian Wilkins. I think Wilkins is the smallest name out of that group of 5, but maybe one of the most underrated players in the NFL. Highest run defense grade out of those 5 players. Not as good rushing the passer. Interested to see what Christian Wilkins gets if the Dolphins end up re-signing him,
and to see what happens this year with him in a Vic Fangio defense. Like, could be in line for his best year off the back of, I think, what was his best year last year. So, like, probably heading in the right direction as well.